You're tuning in to Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I am coming at you with another live stream. As you enter into the chat, make sure you double tap when you enter into the live stream. I know my big bro, Brainwaves Vice Topic LLC, is going to talk about it. You had a few other content creators talk about this situation as well. Jimmy Kimmel got fired for disrespecting Charlie Kirk passing. That's right. He sure did. So without further ado, let's hear what they have to say.
Disney and the ABC network are taking Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. This follows a controversy over comments the late night comedian made Monday night about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer and the MAGA movement and their reaction to the assassination. Let's get straight to CNN's chief media affairs correspondent, Brian Stelter. Brian, what is going on?
That's right. This is fast developing this afternoon, Jake, amid pressure from the Trump-aligned FCC. And in the past few minutes, ABC confirmed to CNN that Kimmel's show will be off the air, quote, indefinitely. We have not yet heard from Kimmel or his representatives. That's how quickly this has been developing. But let's back up and look at what Kimmel actually said on the program that has caused controversy. This is
a message to everybody in particular. Be careful how you move out here. Be careful how you move out here, because if they're doing this to a host of a particular show and you're hearing teachers getting fired, people in high positions getting fired, they're doing this because they don't want the lawsuit. And on top of that, with social media, how things are going and how things are brewing, people in particular is tired of people's sins, rhetoric. And if you don't have your stuff together, you're going to be in a soup kitchen. Real talk. That's how quickly it can happen and transpire. Let's continue.
Monday night, in his Monday evening monologue, Kimmel suggested that the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. He said, quote, the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. He said in between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far-right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days. There's a lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night.
So he was talking about the mass death. The dude was talking about the mass death. So we're going to hear the material. Here we go.
Here's where it became interesting earlier today. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on a far-right webcast and condemned Kimmel and urged ABC to suspend him. He also talked about possible regulatory punishments of Disney because there are lots of different stations that have licenses with the FCC. Within the past hour, we've heard from a big owner of stations that have affiliations with ABC, a company called Nexstar, saying that they were going to suspend Kimmel's show on their stations. So in other words, about 2 dozen.
So he has another thing he got going on outside of ABC affiliates. So it says Nexstar Media Group, that's another company. NASDAQ, NSST today announced that the company owner and partner television stations affiliated with the ABC television network will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. All right, let's continue.
dozen stations were refusing to air Kimmel's show tonight as a result of this controversy. And then, following word that some of those stations were basically revolting against Kimmel, Disney, the parent company of ABC, decided to yank the show entirely. So that's all we know at the moment. We know that Kimmel will not be on the air tonight or for the foreseeable future because the network says the show has been yanked off the air indefinitely.
Brian, just to take one issue, your interpretation of what Kimmel said, I think, is the one that Brendan Carr had and the one that the individuals at Nexstar have. But what he said specifically was, quote, the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. That can be read in several ways. That could be heard in several ways. It could also be it could also be argued he's saying that what the MAGA gang is doing is just trying to make sure that they don't have any ownership of it, not necessarily that this killer, this horrible person, was part of them. I mean,
I think you're making a very important point.
Yeah,
you're making a very important point. And let's take it a little bit step further. This was all on Monday night. Nobody seemed to notice this yesterday, Jake. This all erupted in the past few hours when the Trump-aligned FCC chairman decided to point at it. Now, I've heard from him in the past few minutes, Brendan Carr, thanking Nexstar for doing the right thing by yanking the show. He has not yet commented on ABC yanking.
The FCC, the airwaves, which is called the FCC, is going to make sure they're paying attention to everybody in particular. So if you work at these major companies and they have a policy, so it's not like that many people watch Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really watch TV. If anything, people are more on YouTube than actually watching TV for the most part. You get what I'm saying? So he has something going on YouTube. So they took down his channel, or whoever runs his channel, they had to remove it for the time being. These people are losing sponsors. These people are losing opportunities because of their opinion. This is crazy. This is wild. A lot of people going to get laid off, y'all. Let's continue.
The show altogether across the entire country. But let's remember that when Stephen Colbert's show was canceled over the summer, what did President Trump say? He said, next up will be an even less talented Jimmy Kimmel. It is clear that pro-Trump allies have been trying to target ABC over Kimmel for several weeks now, and tonight they've prevailed.
Yeah, Brian Stelter, thanks so much for that breaking news. Let's go right to the panel.
Before we get to the panel, now somebody asked me earlier in the chat, why CNN? Because I wanted to go to CNN. I could go to Fox if I want to. I want to see what they have to say. Listen, I run my channel a certain way, okay? Be respectful to the host now. I'm allowing y'all to agree to disagree. I want to go to CNN, and then I will go to Fox or whoever I got to go to, okay? Wherever the source is. We got to be balanced over here. I want to hear what they got to say, and then we're going to hear what Fox got to say. And then we're going to meet in the middle, okay? Is that good? Make sure you double tap the like button in. We got 111 people. If you want to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Double tap the like button on your way in. So let's just break this down real briefly. To everybody that's working, whether you're a teacher, you work for a coordinator, whatever the case may be cognizant and mindful of what you say about a person that's no longer here. It's one thing if the person is here, you could agree to disagree. The disrespect will not be tolerated. The disrespect to the man's wife will not be tolerated. If you had an issue with what the man say, that's on you. To spew your hate on company time and company policy, they're not going to risk being sued, losing opportunities because of your mouth. Keep things to yourself, because we're in a time that people don't want to be around certain people because of their view standpoint. Do I make myself clear? So at the end of the day, We're going to hear what CNN have to say. We're going to hear what Fox News have to say, or any other station. There is a middle ground. You may say it's not a middle ground. It's a middle ground, because I want to hear both sides before I make my assessment. All I'm saying to everybody in the chat, you could agree to disagree, even with me. The point is, be respectful. Whatever happened to being respectful? Too many people being disrespectful. They're not. No. I know when people are disrespecting me, they could disagree. The minute they disrespect me, my mods in the chat will be blocking them. That's why I have mods for. Let's continue. Shout out to the mods.
Let me first start by showing, I wondered what was going on earlier today when I saw this pop up on Twitter. This is the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on a far-right podcast talking about what Kimmel's comments were. Let's roll that tape.
You know, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. Obviously, look, there's calls for Kimmel to be fired. I think, you know, you could certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. And again, you know, the FCC is going to have remedies that we could look at.
Joe.
So what this tell me, if the FCC could pinpoint of what people are saying, then it's going to be a lot more people eventually that we're going to know of or not know of being fired. So you got to move correctly out here, y'all. You got to move correctly. This is not a time to be being disrespectful. You got to move righteously. When you move in sin, you're going to have yourself hemmed up in this day of time. Okay? Let's continue.
Are you comfortable with the FCC playing this role?
I don't think this is a legal issue. I don't think this can be pointed to the FCC or the Trump administration and say, well, this is about them going after Kimmel because of what he said. Personally, I think it's more of a cultural issue. And I got to tell you, look, I'm about as moderate a Republican as you're going to get. I'm from New York. I have not been comfortable watching late night television for 15 years, because when you have conservative leanings and you're constantly mocked and you constantly feel like you're doing something wrong, you shut it off. You don't watch it anymore. And then what happens is it's circular. If the host doesn't have that audience, the host doesn't worry about keeping an audience like that. It goes in circles, and at some point, you get things like this where you say things, and that wasn't the full quote. The further quote was that he mocked President Trump for flying the flags at half-staff.
Oh, so he mocked the President of America for half-staffing the flag. Wow. You got a lot of people in America that doesn't love America. I always say this: if you don't love America, there's a plane for you to go to specific countries. Nobody's stopping you to get on the plane to go in another country if you don't want America to be great again. If you don't want America to be great again, then why are you here? You born here and you have an issue of what's going on in America, instead of getting to learn how to deal with each other, put your differences to the side. You don't want to do that. These people, man, they need to be packed up and go to another country since they have an issue of what's going on in America. Let's go.
In remembrance of Charlie Kirk, and said it's like grieving of a 4-year-old, as a 4-year-old grieves for a goldfish.
No,
that was the full quote there.
Well, the full quote was, I think.
See, he's being disrespectful, not only to Charlie Kirk's passing, he's disrespectful to Charlie Kirk's daughters. He's disrespectful to Charlie Kirk's daughters. This is crazy, y'all. This is why you got to be very mindful of who you talk with, who you interact with. You don't want to be guilty by association. Let's continue.
He ran the clip of a reporter asking President Trump how he was doing with the death of Charlie Kirk. And President Trump said, I think I'm doing okay. And then he proceeded to talk about the ballroom that was being built on the White House grounds. I think that was that was the full context. Again, I didn't say any of this. I'm just trying to present as accurate a picture of what did happen.
He was very explicit. This is the problem with CNN, respectfully. The dude, Jimmy Kimmel, was so disrespectful, explicit. And Michelle, correct. The wife, too. Correct. And the wife as well. The CNN are not getting to details of him being explicit. They want to protect their own, y'all. This is crazy. I'm not surprised. Let's continue.
Ellie, this is the FCC commissioner.
Right.
I don't think we have seen an FCC commissioner this aggressive in our lifetimes. What do you think of it all?
So, to the point of whether there's a legal element here, I think Joe's right. Like, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law, which means you can only enforce the First Amendment against the government. So can Jimmy Kimmel sue? No, he can't sue ABC for making a decision to remove him. That's a private entity. But what Donald Trump is doing repeatedly is he's expanding his executive power in two ways. One, I would say, is precedented. That's the traditional stuff. I have more authority to hire and fire executive branch officials. I don't have to respond to Congress, that kind of thing. He's fighting that out in the court. We've seen that before. What's unprecedented, however, is the way Donald Trump is using official power from the FCC on to go after universities, law firms, and media.
So you mean to tell me that you're okay with the sin? You're okay with the sin? You're okay with the sin that's currently in America? So we got to protect the sinners. That's what we're doing right now, protecting sinners?
Companies that he disagrees with on policy or on politics. That is new. We've not seen that from any president before.
This is actually cancel culture. I mean, that's what this is. The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Brent Carr, added on Benny Johnson's...
No. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this because cancel culture was going on prior to Trump. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I knew they was going to mention cancel culture eventually. Cancel culture was going on prior to Trump. So we're not going to put Trump as the reason why cancel culture going on. They only use that method when they don't get their way. Let's continue, y'all.
Podcasts at the broadcasters, including ABC, have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest.
You know, if you say something about a certain group that you could get canceled, CNN, you already know the routine. Everybody know the routine. If you say something about a certain group, you get canceled. Right? We moving in code, y'all. If you say something about a certain group, everybody gets canceled. So why is it that y'all can disrespect somebody based on a disagreement? I'm telling you, man, America is, these people in America got to go, y'all. They got to go. We need more intelligent people around. We need more people with common sense because a lot of these people, regardless of their culture, regardless of the background, regardless of whatever situation they're in, they're not smart enough to see that we're fighting against the devil in high places. A multitude of areas. These people are on demon time, y'all. They love demons, they love warlocks, they love witches. And a lot of these media outlets is run by warlocks and witches. Let's continue.
Elsewhere in the interview, Carr attacked Kimmel as talentless and suggested the late night comedian's comments displayed some sort of, quote, desperate irrelevance. Is that what we want the FCC chairman to be doing?
It's a very slippery slope, and there's a pattern. We keep talking about it like it's not happening, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again with folks he disagrees with. I'm a Democrat. I'll say what happened to Charlie Kirk is disgusting. We should have a court that if he did it, he should be prosecuted to every extent of the law. We shouldn't have to say that. That's just common sense. But we also...
Okay, so he said this is common sense. Now, we know it's more than one person. The point is this young gentleman is correct. Whatever happened to common sense? Let's continue.
should say the First Amendment matters to everybody, whether they agree or they disagree. And I just think that what we're going through right now is unprecedented. It's unseemly. And I think that it's really getting out of hand because it's just happening more and more and more with folks who disagree.
We do have the clip that Jimmy Kimmel said Monday night. Obviously this is not the entire 8 or 9 minute monologue. This is just one clip of it, but this is what he said.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than.
This is just one clip of it, but this is what he said.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
So disrespectful. Disrespectful. You know? He was so out of pocket. Jimmy Kimmel was so out of pocket, y'all. He's saying that Trump and the administration trying to score points. Don't that ring a bell a few years back with y'all when y'all had power in office? Make that make sense. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
Now, the way that Fox covered what he just said there was Kimmel suggests Kirk assassin was one of the MAGA gang, despite reports of leftist leanings. I don't know that I think that is an accurate description, but they have the First Amendment to write what they want to write.
The job of the FCC is not to regulate and police content. It's not, do we like this? Does this make us comfortable or uncomfortable? Right. I don't like anything about what Jimmy Kimmel said, frankly. I agree with Joe. I find his comments reprehensible, but it's not the FCC's job to say, do we like this or do we not? And the FCC, of course, is a government actor. And I'm thinking sort of off the top of my head here, but if ABC wanted to fight this, clearly they don't because they've made the decision to dispatch or suspend Jimmy Kimmel. If they wanted to fight this, they might have a basis to go into court the same way that law firms have gone into court, and Harvard, among other universities, have gone into court and said, this is an overextension of government power, of executive power. This violates the First Amendment. And again, they can bring that because the FCC is a government actor, but Jimmy Kimmel cannot do anything against ABC because they're private.
One other thing that...
So what they're trying to tell you is this. We didn't want him to get fired. We disagree of how he moved. We didn't want him to get fired because they love the sin. They love garbage. They love failure. Okay, we got Corey Bennett. We got a member of mine in the house. We got RZA in the house. Listen, if y'all be disrespectful, my moms will block you. Be respectful in the chat. Okay? You could talk your talk. Speak your mind. No cussing. No disrespecting the host. Don't disrespect the mods. You can have your back and forth with each other. Just don't be disrespectful to the chat. Okay? Let's continue, y'all. And double tap the like button on your way in. Let's get over 100 likes. Let's get over 100 likes. Let's go.
The FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr did in that interview with Benny Johnson, who, by the way, has said plenty of things that a lot of people find objectionable, is he suggested actually the exact course of action that happened. He said what could happen is local affiliates could complain to ABC about the content, and then those local affiliates could say they're going to refuse to air Jimmy Kimmel Live. And that's actually what happened. Nexstar, which owns a bunch of ABC affiliates, they were the first ones to say in a statement, and Variety broke this news, we're going to preempt the show. Is there any coming back from this, do you think?
Well, I don't think ABC is canceling him because they're afraid of the FCC. I think they're afraid that they're going to lose whatever audience he has left because that's...
They don't want to lose the money. Let's get right down to business. If I'm running a business and I'm finding out that people in my business could affect my situation for my family, for my future generation, and for the company's sake, you think I'm not going to get rid of these people? I got to do what's best interest of my company. They got to do what's best interest of not losing viewership over this guy. You got to put the personal stuff to the side, y'all. And a lot of people don't want to put personal stuff to the side. You got to feed your family. You got to provide services. I don't have to agree with the Ibarasi-Dibarasis. At the same time, I don't want no man starving. I don't want no man not providing for his family. Yet, if you're going to go in the route of disrespect, you have to pay for the consequence. That's all to it. There's no getting around it. Let's continue.
Such an offensive thing he said. As far, look, there's so much media alternatives at this point. So I think the FCC's, the range of authority they have is less and less because there's so many other outlets to reach out to. So if Kimmel wants to reappear somewhere else, he will. I think the point is, though, that, again, when you alienate a part of the population who at some point just stops watching, then you have no incentive to keep whatever left of that audience there is. And then, you know, it just kind of goes down the drain.
Well, just moments ago, the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk formally charged with aggravated murder and 6 other counts. Now, unfortunately, some on the left continue to cheer the killing. FBI Director Kash Patel and said.
Okay, so now we're going into this one. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. We're in Fox News.
Senator Cory Booker. It hasn't been about him, so he made it about himself, getting into a shouting match over the rise of the
we're going into Cory Booker
watch.
now. Cory Booker.
Rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to address
There should be a
your
unifying.
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this
to
country.
not
Senator,
take
it is
responsibility
my time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee.
Oh my goodness, we got a fight going on here. We got a fight going on. Hold on. Let me add them to the title. Mr. Cory Booker going at it. Hold on. We gotta do some change to the title, y'all. Hold on. I haven't heard about this guy in a minute. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, get the lights up, y'all. Get the lights up, y'all. Let's get it.
Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
you
time is.
Senator,
You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's over?
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Not afraid of you.
Whoa! Ho, ho! Whoa! What we getting into? What we getting into right now? What? Cory Booker said, I represent New Jersey. Tell me what to do. Hold on, we're going to have to rewind that. Get your popcorn ready. Let's get right to business, y'all. Uh-oh. Well,
just moments ago, the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk formally charged with aggravated murder and 6 other counts. Now, unfortunately, some on the left continue to cheer the killing. FBI Director Kash Patel and Senator Cory Booker. It hasn't been about him, so he made it about himself, getting into a shouting match over the rise of the violent rhetoric. Watch.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to
There
address
should be a
your
unifying.
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this
to
country.
not
Senator,
take
it is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had your
have said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making a
time is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
Utah?
time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time.
You see how the women are looking? You see how the women are looking in the background, y'all? The women in the background, like, what the heck is going on with these dudes? These dudes are fighting and bickering, arguing. Watch this, y'all. Pay attention to the women in the background.
Over.
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Not afraid of you.
Ooh, tough guy. And as numerous workers get fired for posting onto social media disgusting celebrations of the murder of Charlie Kirk, some folks in the media are now suddenly worried about cancel culture. Watch this.
Most of these people are not public figures. They were anonymous until a few days ago when.
Oh, so now they sneak this in. Hey. They sneak this in. They sneak this in us YouTubers. Hold on, sir. You're not going to sneak this us YouTubers now, ain't you? Us YouTubers are the source, sir. And we are debunking your hypocrisy, sir. Miss NBSC, you coming on here sneak this in us content creators? Because now we are the source and people are watching us and they're not watching y'all no more. They're coming to our platforms and watching us. We are doing better than most of you newscasters, sir. I had somebody from Miss NBC came in my chat a couple of days ago. Somebody from Miss NBC. So don't be surprised if I get a call. Don't be surprised if I get a call. Floridian and Rollo get a call from one of these stations. Listen. They watching my platform. I had somebody a couple of days ago that worked for the news station. They monitoring my channel now. Don't be surprised if the actual news station come in my chat soon and try to get me to come on the show. Me personally, I love doing my thing here. You get what I'm saying? Because you go on these platforms, you got to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a certain way. You can't say what needs to be said. You got to move cognizant. Make sure you get the likes up, share this video, and support the show. We had over 600 people in the building. If we get more likes, subscribe to this channel. I will do a $50 giveaway. If we get over 2,700 subscribers, I will do a $50 giveaway to one of y'all. If we get over 2,700 subscribers, I will do a $50 giveaway. Let's make it happen, y'all. Let's make it happen. Let's see what you're saying. Okay, let's continue.
In this conservative campaign organized online, targeting people that it says are attacking Kirk. Look, this is a new form of cancel culture.
This does seem to be turning into a very aggressive attempt to purge not just, government officials, specifically people who work in education, who work in healthcare, who work in government. So it's already getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah. Ooh, smell his beard from here. Nasty. And then
smell his beard from here. Nasty. She calling him out. You nasty, nasty Miss NBC. Miss NBC is so nasty. She said, you nasty boy. You are really nasty. Nasty, nasty boy. Let's continue.
This is a new low. Last night, Jimmy Kimmel implied the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk was MAGA.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
The guy who used to watch women bounce on trampolines, Greg, has turned into a laughable political pundit. What did you make of Jimmy Kimmel's comments?
Well, oh snap! She went in on him. Let's go.
He didn't imply it. He said it. I might have to watch Kimmel tonight to see what he has to say about this, because if he doesn't address what he did, he's done. I mean, this is a great case study, though, of cognitive dissonance. How can such a smart, successful man be so wrong? How can he live in this kind of denial? It's because he knows he's wrong. And if you strip that away, what's left? If you wrestle him away from this delusion that he's stuck with for years about Trump supporters, about Trump, about Republicans in general. What's left? What's underneath that? The realization that you are the bad guy in the movie. You're not a defender of democracy. You're a defender of destructive delusions. I mean, hate to tell you, buddy, but the guy who shot and killed Charlie Kirk was more likely a fan of yours than he.
Dang, he going in. He said more likely a fan of yours. So they going back and forth and putting the blame game. They saying it's the Ibarazis. They saying it's one of the MAGA supporters. All I'm saying is it's more to it than this character that's on the screen that's behind bars. It's more than one person. If you go watch the Candace Owens video that I did in response to, you will hear what she had to say and you will get my response. You know what I'm saying? These people are clowning Jimmy tonight, y'all. They clowning him. Let's go.
Was in MAGA. I think the hardest part is getting people to acknowledge their role in this brainwash. But once you get past that denial, you're left with something that nobody wants to deal with. And I think what we do as conservatives and libertarians and the right is you set an example. You know, you got to offer a way out for these people that are on that side who are sick and tired of feeling miserable under the thrall of this mental poison that Paul mentioned. You know, when you go to turning.
That's true. People are tired of being under that mental impatient type of atmosphere. It's so depressing over there when you listen to them folks. You just like go down a notch to try to get through listening to them. Whereas Fox News, you have more pep in the step. It's more engagement. Miss NBC, there's no engagement. With the Diparasis, there's no engagement. It's bland. It's bland. Listen, conservatives know how to have fun, y'all. For real. Conservatives know how to have fun. Some of these Diparasis, they don't know how to have fun. Only like to have fun when it's synced. That's not to say conservatives don't have anyone perfect, because no parties is perfect. Let's make it clear. No parties is perfect. At the same time, the Diparasis are not fun to be around. Let's continue.
Point events. How could you not want what they have? They're happy. They're joyful, and they're impressive. Lastly, about this Stelter thing. This is rich coming from a network that sent people after Trump supporters down to their mobile homes to out them. They had no problems with cancel culture. This is not relying on the muscle of media. This is an organic thing, just exposing what they are saying to their employees and their employers, and their employees have every right. So the point is, I go back to that phrase, mutually assured destruction. You know, we want you to stop doing this to us. So we're giving you a dose of your medicine, and you're going to take.
So what he's saying is, when they had, you know, certain authoritative, they will cancel the conservatives based on their opinion. Now it's ricocheting back to them, and they hiding and running based on them creating this cancel culture. The Ibaracis created the cancel culture. Now the conservatives are saying, we're using your own rhetoric that you dispute. Now you want to play victim. Let's continue.
Take it.
All right. So obviously, Stephen Colbert, his show was canceled. He's only going to be on for a few more months. He was awarded a Primetime Emmy on Sunday night. Do you think ABC, looking at this and seeing MSNBC fire Matthew Dowd, is it easier for them to pull the plug on someone like Jimmy Kimmel, given the political and media environment we're in right now?
It's certainly easier for them to give an opportunity to walk it back or to try and clarify exactly what he meant, and more importantly, to tell the truth about what actually occurred here. This comes down to the typical leftist tactic of never wanting to take responsibility for anything.
Let me ask you this question, fellas. What ladies are more attractive? The Ibarasi women or the conservative women? Which one y'all find more attractive? which one have more attractive women? In particular, the women that are conservative or the women that's Ibarasi, who are more attractive? I want to see what you guys say in the chat. All right, let's continue.
They gin up all of this foment, all of this narrative. And now all of a sudden something horrific has happened and it's their guy and they want to say, oh no, it's a MAGA guy, which is not true. It's a lie. And they've done this time after time with violent cases after violent cases. And when it doesn't suit their narrative to try and lie and say it's someone from the right, they justify it, just like they justified $2 billion worth of rioting damage and murder of police officers in the summer of 2020. So,
yeah, she's right. They wanna play the blame game. It's all Trump's fault. Everything that's going on in this planet is Trump's fault. Anybody that deal with Trump, you are fascist, you are racist, you have something wrong with you. You can't accept people's situations. All this other Bible Chronicle nonsense. Let's go.
So they are masters of projection when they say it's the conservatives, the right wings, political ecosphere doing this. They're actually talking about themselves. They're holding up a mirror and they don't like what they see. And instead of just taking some responsibility and saying, how can we prevent this from happening again? We have a sick problem inside the left. The data proves it out. Polling after polling shows that a significant number of people on the left justify political violence, not just getting a little violent by destroying property, but by murdering those who they disagree with. And we've seen.
I mean, she does have a point. The demons and devils are doing a lot of the criminology, regardless of culture, regardless of race. Let's continue.
Seen this occur.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to figure it out, but they're lying about what's actually going on.
All right, but you have a large number of younger people, Jesse, who they watch Jimmy Kimmel. Maybe they watch a clip on TikTok, and they believe that this alleged assassin was, in fact, a member of the MAGA movement, and those are the same people who feel that political violence is justified. It is a 4-to-1 margin, liberals to conservatives, who say that it is okay to either torch a Tesla dealership, possibly injure or kill Elon Musk or Donald Trump, or to harm or kill someone that you politically disagree with. How do you change?
This is why it's going to be a lot tougher to get certain things. And this is why I tell you guys and ladies, in all seriousness, to get your house in order, to get your paperwork together. Because by this situation occurring, it's going to be difficult to get certain things. You're going to have to go through a lot of screening to get certain things in this country. Because don't think for 1 second that what happened to Mr. Kirk, it's not going to affect us in a multitude of ways. This is why I say, whether you're Ibarasi, whether you're conservative, put your trust in God, put your trust in Christ. More importantly, let me make that clear. At the same time, get your house in order and see. During the week, I'm going to show you that's important to get your paperwork together, because they pass in certain things in the congressional office, and I have a family member that's a representative of Congress. I have the conversations with him, and I ask him this question. I say, sir, he's my cousin. I still call him sir. I say, sir, representative of the congressional office. I said, let me ask you this question. Is it possible that they're going to pass laws to be stricken on certain things that we need to get before the year's over with? Prior to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, he said, yeah. A lot of the Republican states, particularly Florida and Texas, They up in the ante. I know somebody that do what Charlie Kirk does and go to these campuses. There's more extra security. Matter of fact, I was by a particular college today, and I was wondering why it was so much traffic, because I had to go take care of some business in that particular area. And there was a important person that does similar to what Charlie Kirk does. They had extra security, and I think the person may have gotten Secret Service because there was more than usual things going on. So what I'm saying is that there's going to be a time that you will not be able to go even out to eat, let alone take your family out in certain places without being screened and checked because of these situations that's going on in this country. So we got to move accordingly. And to my peoples in the northern states, you're going to have to move accordingly even more so. It's crazy enough you're dealing with the ninjas. You're dealing with these crazy nuts in the streets, in these restaurants, at these workplaces, people crashing out left and right. At the same time, this right here should tell all of us to get our minds correct, stop fizzy-futting, know your area, know your parameter, know who you're dealing with. Okay? Let's go.
Change that.
Well, you're seeing a massive disinformation campaign run by the legacy media to try to detach themselves from this killer, and it's not working. We expose it immediately, and it's been debunked, and they're never going to get away with any of this stuff anymore. They are over. In terms of people, you have a right to say Charlie Kirk deserved to die. You have a right to say you're glad he died. But you don't have a right to work at this company. You don't have a right to teach my kids. You don't have a right to serve in government. You are.
Now he's right. You want to say that? You don't have a right to do what? I'm going with him on this. I'm with him on this because I talked about it earlier. Listen to what he said.
Say Charlie Kirk deserved to die. You have a right to say you're glad he died. But you don't have a right to work at this company. You don't have a right to teach my kids. You don't have a right to serve in government. You are basically.
You don't have the right to teach my kids. You don't have the right to serve in the company I work for or particular political affiliate government. Let's continue.
Basically telling the world you're evil. You are telling the world you can't be trusted. You are telling the world you are comfortable with cold-blooded killing.
I agree with him. A lot of people is accepting the sin. People are not calling out the sin. There's not too many people calling out the sin. Let's continue.
Now, do you want someone like that sitting next to you in the office? If CNN had a producer after 9/11 that was going around saying, yep, the chickens have come home to roost, you think he'd last one day at that office? What about Irina, the Ukrainian? Could you say she had it coming? Glad she died. Or I'm so glad Epstein got a hold of all these girls. Thank goodness. Or you know what? The Palisades fire, that should have burned more. It's the same thing. And you would never tolerate that kind of lack of humanity with people that you are spending close proximity with. Because who knows?
Notice he mentioned the Epstein situation. He mentioned the other situations that's going on. There you have it. He does have a point. And to everybody that's keep mentioning the Epstein stuff in my chat, don't you got bills to pay, like Ringo say? Don't you got responsibilities that you need to focus on? Don't you got children you got to feed? They are going to handle that situation when the time comes. Let's continue.
Knows what else they're capable of. This is demonic, and they are threats to your physical safety, to your children's physical safety. And
they are threats to your safety and to your children's physical safety, which I had a talk with my cousin, and I said that, are they going to evaluate all the teachers after the recession during the winter time. He said it's a possibility that the teachers, while on break for a short amount of time in the month of December, there's a possibility they might have to come in early, and that every teacher is going to get a memo. So if you're a teacher and you watch my channel, just know that I talked to somebody that's in the congressional office, and they told me it's a possibility that it will be passed on to the head teacher of DC, and the head teacher of DC is going to have all the states, all teachers is going to get the memo. There's going to be a lot of changes, y'all. A lot of teachers is going to be investigated, whether they have social media or not. So you could screw out all the stuff. Believe me, they have all the data. They have all the data. It's going to be a lot of changes in 2025, mid-2025, which we are currently in the last quarter, going into 2026. So don't be surprised if you start seeing a switch. Let's continue.
And so there's nothing wrong with expelling these people from polite society. They should be banished, they should be punished, and they should be sanctioned. Evil must be confronted. Now, the Department
Evil must be confronted. I agree with him on that.
of Justice can take action when it comes to Antifa. Where they get the body armor from? Who's paying for all these gas masks that are being shipped in caseloads to these riots in Los Angeles? Ever think of where Ryan Ruth got all that money to get all those computers, phones, and rifles, and how he afforded to fly all across the world to Ukraine, how he afforded to live in Ukraine for all that time? Follow the money. And the left's scared that we're going to
follow the money. We heard that true saying. Let's rewind it back. Follow the money. Listen.
Computers, phones, and rifles, and how he afforded to fly all across the world to Ukraine, how he afforded to live in Ukraine for all that time? Follow the money. And the left's scared that we're going to follow the money because they're afraid of what we might find.
All right. And, to that point, Antifa being designated as a terrorist organization, what is the potential backlash? And is that a sound idea for this administration?
It is. And the problem here is that it's a little bit institutional. Nobody wants to make those cases. Why? Because they're money cases, as Jesse is saying, right? And the statutes, they're not sexy. This is not cinematic police work, right? It's going to be money laundering, tax charges, really dull stuff like that. Who wins football games? It's not necessarily the quarterback run all over the place with the highlight reels. It's in the trenches, right? That's who wins. The front line, that's where you win or lose. The money is the front.
The money is the front line.
You know that there are guys who live in Shanghai, American citizens, who fund the co-founder of Code Pink is married to a guy named Roy Singer who lives in Shanghai. He's a devout Maoist. His niece is the head of Jews for Mamdani. The money's flying all over the place. We don't follow any of it. You're telling me all of this stuff is legitimate? All of this?
Exactly. Is it all legitimate? I don't think so. Salute to Forever Studios in the building. Salute to Lively Cuts, Another Ma in the building. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning into the show. Thank y'all so much. Let's get the likes over 100, y'all. We had close to 1,000 people in here. You the people make it happen. The more you push this channel, the more people will participate in the chat. It's up to you folks. I humbly appreciate those who's in the chat, whether you agree or disagree. Thank y'all for coming to this late night stream. I appreciate it. Let's continue.
Money is accounted for. They're paying the taxes on all of this. All of this stuff is being funded by naive billionaires, the wives of naive billionaires who have since been divorced. I won't say any names. And it flies all over the place. What you need...
What did you say? Who's naive?
All of this money is accounted for. They're paying the taxes on all of this. All of this stuff is being funded by naive billionaires, the wives of naive billionaires who have...
The wives of naive billionaires. Ooh-wee. Listen, this is why I tell you guys, man. Guys, fellas. There are a lot of women that's miserable that have rich men they with, and they still mess around. This man, oh man, oh man. This is wild, man. Let's continue.
Since been divorced, I won't say any names, and it flies all over the place. What you need, remember they wanted to hire all those IRS agents, and everybody had a stroke? Hire them, but don't point them at us, because most of us are paying our taxes. Point them at this ecosystem that has caused our campuses to erupt, that fund this kind of crap that we're seeing.
Yep. Let's continue.
Relative to Charlie, all because the right doesn't have that ecosystem. We all know that. You start a right-leaning foundation right now, you're going to be out on Broadway with a cup in your hand. You're not going to get this kind of money. Yeah. So this is where you got to go.
So basically, he's saying that the Ibarracis will bribe you more than the conservatives. Interesting.
They're not sexy cases. But this is what you got to do.
But you know what is cinematic and sexy? A love-struck former Mormon falls in love with a trans male. This is American Crime Story. It's a Netflix show, right? Sure. It's a cross between Romeo and Juliet and Neil Jordan's Mona Lisa with natural-born killers thrown into it. That's what you're going to see, because that's what Hollywood will do.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, they put Hollywood into the midst of this. All right. Hold on a second. Let's do this, y'all. Let's do this. Let me get the Cory Booker situation. We're going to get more of the Cory Booker situation. We're going to be right back. So we got the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Let's get to Cory Booker. Cory Booker. Okay, let's get to this. Let's get to the full thing. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to this Cory Booker situation, y'all. Let's get some laughs. Let's get some laughs. Let's get some laughs, y'all. All right, here we go.
Frequently on our Homeland Security task forces.
How often do you speak to Stephen Miller?
Frequently on our Homeland Security task forces.
You frequently talk with Stephen Miller about subjects other than Homeland Security task force issues, correct?
I frequently talk to Mr. Miller about Homeland Security task forces.
Has Stephen Miller ever given you his opinions on how to run your agency?
Mr. Miller's interagency operations are invaluable to the FBI.
Okay, let's go back to the front, y'all. Let's go back to the front. Listen to this. Salute to Brainwaves in the building. Brainwaves of Vice Topic LLC. It was because of Brainwaves I got wind of Jimmy Kimmel getting fired. However, we're talking about the situation that came across my desk. Unexpectedly, Mr. Cory Booker, Ibarraci from New Jersey, arguing with the congressional office. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Let's see what they're arguing about. Let's go.
How often do you speak to Stephen Miller?
Frequently on our Homeland Security task forces.
You frequently talk with Stephen Miller about subjects other than Homeland Security task force issues, correct?
I frequently talk to Mr. Miller about Homeland Security task forces.
Here we go.
Has Stephen Miller ever given you his opinions on how to run your agency?
Mr. Miller's interagency operations are invaluable to the FBI. That's what we talk about.
So you frequently discuss your job and your responsibilities with Stephen Miller and Pam Bondi, I imagine, as well.
Absolutely. She's the Attorney General.
Understood. Okay. Donald Trump promised to make us all safer. You have pushed out senior FBI agents with decades of knowledge and experience. In fact, this is the first time in FBI history that neither the director nor the deputy director have any experience with the FBI. You've shifted the agency's priorities primarily to pursuing Donald Trump's immigration enforcement agenda. According to ICE data, the Cato Institute, which is a conservative think tank, found that 20% of all agents have been diverted from their work to assist ICE immigration enforcement. 20%. Part of this operation is the work of mass law enforcement who jump out of cars, snatch people off streets at churches, schools, and their jobs and hospitals.
Mr. Booker, Mr. Booker. Your state, sir, your state, New Jersey, have given more to the migrants than to the people of New Jersey. Sir, a lot of people have left New Jersey not because they wanted to, because you didn't care for the actual New Jersey residents that you're supposed to be representing, sir. Let me give a shout out to Lively Cuts for the support. He said, hit the like button. We appreciate your support for this channel. Appreciate that, Lively Cuts, for the support, man. Salute to you and your lady. Keep up the great work, fam. Keep up the great work. Appreciate the support. And for those who supporting the Cash App, I appreciate that as well. All right? Come on now. You kicked out all the people that did not want to leave New Jersey. There's a lot of people leaving your residency, sir. You're supposed to be their representative. Let's continue.
Have there been any FBI agents who investigate crimes against children that have been assigned to immigration enforcement, yes or no?
The premise of what you say is entirely
Have there been
false.
any FBI agents who investigate foreign domestic terrorism?
You don't get to say the America is not safer under this leadership.
I am not saying
America
that.
is
You're
safer because of the work of the FBI.
You're making a presumption of
He said the American place is more safer. America is more safer under this administration, under this jurisdiction. And Cory Booker is about to crash out. Here we go.
4,700 children.
Sir,
we have seized 6,000 weapons and 23,000 violent felons have been
FBI
arrested.
agents who investigate human trafficking have been reassigned to immigration enforcement. You are not denying that FBI agents who are on the task force that fight against Russian oligarchs have not been reassigned. Public Corrections Squad reassigned. People who defend us, defend children reassigned. You're not denying that. I've seen you time and time again attack my colleagues' premises of questions as a way to not answer the question. So let me end with this. I believe you have made our country weaker and less safe. I believe that we are more vulnerable to a major event, and I pray to God it doesn't happen.
What? What are you talking about? Dude, you don't push out a lot of important people out of New Jersey. You price these people out. You price out successful people in your state, sir. You allow poverty to come back to New Jersey. And what's going on in New York and LA and Oakland. You representations of these particular places has allowed people to be poor, sir. You take it from the people. How you expect people to do for other people if you take it for them, sir? The man just said, we have found more children. We have done a lot of arrests. We have done what the administration is asking us to do. And y'all don't even want to help. Y'all protect these criminals, sir. Y'all protect sin in these particular states. Was once beautiful cities to visit. Do you know people still want to visit New York? People want to still visit your state. People want to visit LA and Oakland. Yet when they hear from other people that visit this place, they say it's best not to go there because of the crime, because of the sin, because of the robbery. And you're going to say this young man is not doing a good job? When your state has the highest property tax, people stealing in your state, sir, in New Jersey, a place that I once stayed in, Bergen County, with my ex-wife. And now Bergen County is not even sufficient anymore. It has become poverty takeover. This has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. We are moving into the snap of Cory Booker. If you are just tuning in, I'm doing two different scenarios, JH. Just listen to the content. And if you look at the title, you will see that I add Cory Booker crashed out. Look at the description box, please. Come on now. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue.
You've gutted the Bureau of Institutional Knowledge and Expertise. You fired or pushed out seasoned FBI officials, many with more than 20 years of experience, and were working on cases that were critical. You've been purging thousands of serious law enforcement officials who spent their careers keeping us safe, only to lower hiring standards in order to find anyone to replace them. And shockingly, you admitted in this hearing to Senator Coons that it would take 14 years to fill the vacancies at your agency. Many are the result of your purge.
No. You're not going to do this. Let me read what Brainwave stated for those who can't see. Booker just spoke death on the people by believing something bad will happen with no proof, a.k.a. witchcraft, a.k.a. demon time. Exactly. Let's continue. Watch how the ladies look at him.
20% of FBI agents are doing low-level immigration enforcement instead of their mission-critical work. You've disbanded entire task forces that stop election interference, foreign influence, public corruption. And who benefits from this? Well, corrupt people benefit from it. Criminals benefit from it. Vladimir Putin benefits from it.
No. We're not doing this, Cory. No. You benefit off of criminals. You benefit off sin. You are living luxury in your particular state, New Jersey, while people are scrapping for food, sir. Even people that's supposed to have money is going to the soup kitchen, sir. I will post your name and show you that you are being naive, sir. When you have people with money going to the soup kitchen to provide for their children, that means you raking their money, sir. How you expect people to come back to New Jersey if they're going to be taxed and taxed and taxed on top of tax? A lot of you Ibarasi want people to live poor. Now, sure, there are certain areas in the South that's poor. Yet, even though those people are poor, they still have an opportunity to get out of that poor state. Whereas people are working poor in California, sir. People are working poor in New York, sir. People are working poor in New Jersey. I have a guy that came across my desk who said that New York wasn't paying what California paid. However, he has to go back to New York for various reasons. The point is this, sir. One thing about California, they will take care of their high earners. Then New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts take care of their high earners. If you're a high earner in Florida, if you're a high earner in Georgia, if you're a high earner in North Carolina, they're going to take care of you. If you're a high earner, if you want to put it in the chat, put a check mark. If you're a high earner, I'm not telling you to do it. If you choose to do it, if you're a high earner, put a check mark in the building. To all the high earners, you will agree. If you're in particular states, California, truth be told, do respect high earners. Georgia, respect high earners. North Carolina, respect high earners. Florida, respect high earners. Tennessee, respect high earners. Texas, respect high earners. They give you more than what you asked for because they want you to know that they appreciate you coming in, bringing in the money. Whereas New Jersey and New York, they disrespect you. If you're a high earner and you live in Manhattan, you can't find nowhere to park. They want to charge you more for parking a vehicle. And the buildings ain't up to date. You're paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. Yet there's roaches and roaches and rats and mice. But you want to talk about the criminals and the conservatives, Mr. Booker. Yet, what about the criminals in your state, sir, that is higher than the criminals you talk about in the red states? Brainwaves put a check. Brainwaves is a high earner. Lively Cuts is a high earner. Do y'all see that? Brainwaves is a high earner. Lively Cuts is a high earner. Okay. Let's continue. Let's go.
And it really makes me wonder who you're looking out for. It makes me think we can't trust you as a nation. You swear to release the Epstein files, but now you're withholding the Epstein files. You claim that you have a suspect in a serious assassination.
Oh, now you're saying they're holding the Epstein files. Josh Wishin said he's a high earner. Shout out to all the high earners. If you want to put a check mark, you want the people to know you're a high earner, put a check mark in the building. Shout out to all the high earners that's being treated with respect by the people they deal with, or they got their own establishment going on. They're being treated with respect. Now this guy wants to get personal. Let's continue.
Whoops, then you don't have a suspect. You know nothing about plans to remove FBI agents, yet you're directly involved in those plans. In the words of an ex-FBI official, you are overseeing, and I quote, generational destruction of the nation's premier law enforcement agency. Mr. Patel, in just 8 months, you have assaulted the institutional integrity of the FBI. But I know FBI field agents. I've worked with them in Newark. No matter how truly bad you are, you can't undermine the legacy of agents who fight every day to keep us safe, but you can tarnish the integrity of the agency and undermine the agency's capacity. I believe you're failing as a leader, and that your failure does have serious implications for the safety and security of Americans and our families. We're more vulnerable to domestic and foreign attack because of your failures of leadership. I don't think you're fit to hand the bureau, but here's the thing, Mr. Patel.
Oh, now he flipped the book. He's getting personal now. He's getting personal. Here comes the crash out.
I think you're not going to be around long. I think this might be your last oversight hearing. Because as much as you supplicate yourself to the will of Donald Trump and not the Constitution of the United States of America, Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose. This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your...
Ooh. He wishing this man to be fired, y'all. He wishing for this man to be fired. That's so disrespectful. That's confirmation. That's confirmation. He disrespecting this man so much he want him to be fired. Wow. He crashing out, y'all. Here we go.
Job. But I'm going to tell you this. I pray for you. I pray for you.
No. We have people be saying that in the chat. I pray for you. I pray for you. When people say they pray for you, they praying for your downfall. Wow. He's praying for this man's downfall, y'all. Senator Cory Booker is praying for this man's downfall. Wow. Wow. Be careful how people be saying, I'm praying for you. When people say they praying for you, they're praying for your downfall. Because they smile in your face. All around, they want to take your place. The backstabbers. How many people you backstab, Cory Booker?
That you can step up and defend your oath, defend the Constitution, and do a much better job of defending this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you want to say anything?
Yes,
at this
sir.
point?
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
He said, I fuck. What did he say? I follow you on your social media posts. Let me get a screenshot of this. Is going to be my photo. Yes, this is going to be my photo. Yeah, I'm going to put this part of my thumbnail. Yes, let me put you part of my thumbnail. This is going to be your thumbnail. I'm going to put the women's too. Hold on. Let me get them too. Okay, I got it. Yo, this guy, man. Watch him get berated, y'all. Watch. Let's go back.
Information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to
There
address
should be a
your
unifying-
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can
embarrassment.
try.
Look at this woman right here. That's behind the chairman, Mr. Gracely. Oh man, this is crazy, man. This is wild, y'all. You gotta be very mindful with these folks, man. Like Brainwave said, don't pray for me, witches and warlocks with smooth speech. Exactly. Man, this is crazy, y'all. Watch this, y'all. Watch again.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to
There
address
should be a
your
unifying-
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this country.
to not
Senator,
take
it is
responsibility
my time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making a
time is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
Utah?
time is.
Senator-
You can't.
What? The people of who? The people of who? Ooh. You gonna eat your words, Mr. Booker.
Your
Making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
Utah?
time is.
Senator-
You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's
you have-
over?
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Not afraid of you.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Senator Booker, I announced at the beginning of this meeting that this back and forth, talking over each other, doesn't work. And I said if that happened, I asked Patel not to respond, and I was going to give him some time after the senator's time was up to respond. And he has the privilege to do that uninterrupted.
Mr.
So
Chairman, one point of
go
order.
ahead, Mr.
I've
Patel.
watched him talk over us, and you've never once criticized him for us.
Wow. Now he's going after the chairman. He's going after the chairman. Like Brainwave said, following people on social media posts, aka monitoring spirits. Damn, man. Let's rewind this back.
Uninterrupted.
Mr.
So
Chairman, one point of
go
order.
ahead, Mr.
I've
Patel.
watched him talk over us, and you've never once criticized him for us not even being able to get our questions out.
Well,
He has been rude and disrespectful to senator after senator.
And when the senators were not giving him a chance to answer, I didn't stop the senator either. Go ahead, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If the FBI, under my 7-month leadership, were failing this administration in this country, why do we have 23,000 violent felons arrested this year alone? A double increase from that time last year. Why is it that we have seized 6,000 weapons? Why have we found 1,500 child predators and arrested them? Why have we
Exactly. Talk your talk, sir. Talk your talk. Go ahead.
300 human traffickers in jail? Why have we found and identified 4,700 children? Why have we seen 1,600 kilograms of fentanyl in enough to kill a third of the American public, a 25% increase alone from last year? 88,000 kilograms of cocaine seized, 7,000 kilograms of meth seized, and that's just on our criminal operations in summer heat. How is it possible that we're taking 8 kilograms off the streets of the cities in New Jersey and preventing the deaths of 607,000 people this year alone, a failure of the FBI and my leadership?
Yeah, go ahead and talk about his state. Talk about New Jersey, where there's an epidemic of that. People, skin crawlers, people walking mid-street on the turnpike, on these streets in New Jersey. Crazy, man. Let's go.
Leadership. How is it that we have counterintelligence arrests already this year exceeding the numbers from the entirety of last year? 33% increase in PRC, 83% in Russia, 60% in the CI space as it relates to Iran, and we haven't even talked about CT, the southern border, the northern border.
Boom! Boom, boom, boom! Hey, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning into the show. For real, for real. This is a good one. Salute to Robert in the house. Shout out to Robert in the house, y'all. Make sure y'all continue to get the likes up. Look, can we get over 2,700 subscribers? Can we get over 2,700 subscribers right now? Let's see how many subscribers how close we are. Let's see. We need a few more people to get over the subscriber base. We got about maybe 50 people in here or more. Hey, listen, let's get over 2,700 subscribers. And sometime this weekend, I'll do a $50 giveaway. I'll do a $50 giveaway. And what I'm going to do is whoever be in that chat that particular day, you don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a $50 giveaway. 50. I know somebody needs the 50. So whoever be in the chat, I'm not going to, when I, be looking at certain things, and when I, figure out, I'll say, okay, I'm going to give it to this person. Make sure you got a Cash App. Let's get the subscriber base over 2,700. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. I know Brainwaves is going to go live about this topic in about 15 minutes or so. So I'll be checking you out over there. A lot of people talking about it. So salute to Brainwaves. I have heard of other people talking about it. It was just that I saw Brainwaves posted. I said I'm going to talk about it because, I know people going to want to hear my perspective. So I check you out over there about Brainwaves. I added on the Cory Booker situation. We had close to 1,000 people in the building, y'all. That's my next goal, is to get over 1,000 people viewing. We was about 300 and something away from that happening. So this video definitely going viral. You know what I'm saying? I believe it has over 30,000 views. Let me see what YouTube is showing what I have right now. Appreciate the mods for tuning in tonight. I'll be back on real soon. I got a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be doing some pre-record videos. Yeah, I got over 30,000 views. Yep, over 30,000 views. The Candace Owens got over 22,000 views. Let's continue to get that growing. Let's get these viral videos. Let's get it going so other people can get wind of it. I appreciate you, Lively Cups, for putting my Cash App. If y'all want to support the stream, support the work, it's up to you, good people. Thank you all for tuning in to the show. I think you definitely want to watch the Candace overview because I was roasting a particular individual. I was roasting a particular individual. So, hey, thank you all for tuning in. I gladly appreciate it. I'll put on the camera for y'all to say what I need to say. Let me do that real quick. It's only right, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get it correctly. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm waiting for the camera to be ready. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning into the show. Thank y'all for getting me close to 2,700 subscribers. It's been long overdue. I did not expect it to happen. I have a particular goal of subscribers and support that I will reach before the year is over with. And it seemed like it's going quickly than expected. You, the viewers, is making it happen. I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Make sure y'all get Brainwaves over 50,000 subscribers. Also, get him to 100,000 subscribers. He deserves to get there already. You know what I'm saying? We get Ringo close to 200,000 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get our brother to 200,000 subscribers. I'm really happy to see y'all supporting that brother. He's been here since 2006. He's putting a lot of work. Ringo, if you're watching in the clouds, man, keep up the great work, man. You got that Make American Great hat going on, man. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. I told Kimmel, I'm going to get me one. Oh, it's going to be lit. I'm going to get a specific Make American Great hat. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be cool. Shout out to the MAGA. Shout out to Make American Great hat from the Trump administration. I'm definitely going to do that. Yep. So, hey, thank y'all all for viewing on the show. Thank you all for coming from all walks of life. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Exactly. He's doing a great job. Mr. Patel is doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? And what this goes to show you that these people are monitoring spirits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Brainwaves, appreciate it. I will get to 3K soon, fam. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So I'll check you out on the next one. So I'll be watching Brainwaves in the clouds because I got to get ready for a long day tomorrow at the site. So that's why I told y'all, be on the lookout for pre-record videos. It's a lot of stuff going on down here in Florida. We are getting closer to the end of the season, and there's a lot of activity going on, so I have to be there omnipresent. You know, hey, it is what it is. So I got to do what I got to do, right? I got responsibilities like everybody else. So I appreciate y'all supporting. I appreciate y'all taking the time out your day or night, wherever you at across the world, for tuning into the show. This is Floridian Rollo signing off. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Move correctly, and you'll be all right.